Welcome to Breaking News 247 presents.
Over the past several days, the scandal involving the fake dossier that was used to smear President Trump has been in the news. Proof is emerging that disgraced former FBI Director James Comey broke federal law to work with a foreign government to overthrow the president, where he collaborated with British spy Christopher Steele and his London firm, who later sold it to Trump's political opponents. Now a federal court has just made their move, and the massive *TSTORM that's about to ensue could put Comey in federal prison 9J. On Sean Hannity's segment of his show on Wednesday night, he told his audience that he has information proving that it was former FBI Director James Comey who paid for the phony Trump dossier that was then used by us intelligence officials to spy on Trump. "I'm hearing from sources that either Comey or McCabe paid," Hannity stated. Now a federal judge is stepping in to make sure that justice in our country prevails once and for all, and is ordering the FBI to turn over evidence that will prove that Comey committed a felony. Keep in mind that working with foreign governments to overthrow a sitting president is a serious offense as spelled out in 18 U.S. Code 2385 that could get Comey 20 years in the slammer. Town Hall reported. A federal judge has ruled the FBI must turn over memos written by former FBI Director James Comey about a meeting with President Trump. The decision comes as a result of a lawsuit filed by Judicial Watch, which has been seeking the documents for months. The FBI has been ordered to turn over the documents by January 18th, which is next week. The court, in seeking to review the documents, shows it doesn't trust the FBI or Justice Department's representations about the infamous Comey memos. We hope now that Americans are one step closer to knowing the facts about these memos, which were written and leaked for pernicious purposes to target a sitting president with a criminal investigation. Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton said in a statement, "It's high time they begin to see the light of day. We're glad the court followed up on our specific suggestion that it review the documents directly." Department of Justice attorneys, who are defending the FBI in the lawsuit, asked the court for the case to be dismissed. That request has been denied, and Comey's memos must be turned over for review. Comey admitted during congressional testimony last summer that he gave the memos to friend, Columbia law professor Daniel Richman, to leak to the media. After being abruptly fired from his position, Comey's goal was to prompt a special counsel investigation of the Trump campaign during the 2016 presidential election. "I asked a friend of mine to share the content of the memo with the reporter," Comey said. "I didn't do it myself for a variety of reasons, but asked him to, because I thought that it might prompt the appointment of a special counsel. I asked a close friend of mine to do that." Shortly after the leaks, a special counsel was indeed appointed. This isn't the only crime that Comey will soon be answering for. In addition to being the one who paid for the dossier, Comey has also been busted in recent months as the sole leaker who has been tipping the liberal media off with classified information within Trump's administration. Comey also broke federal law in his dealings with Hillary's email scandal, where his illegal antics began during his testimony before the Senate Judiciary Committee several months ago, where he lied about Hillary storing secret intelligence on her private server. Over the past several months, Comey has come out of hiding to make contradictory or false statements while under oath, defiantly disregarding his position to uphold the law. Now Fox News just got their hands on a set of documents revealing that Comey intentionally tampered with evidence in order to water down the FBI's findings. And that is a huge felony. Lying under oath or tampering with evidence of a federal investigation is a serious federal crime as spelled out in Section 1001 of Title 18 of the United States Code. A number of people have been convicted and sent to prison for far less crimes than Comey, including Martha Stewart, whose crimes were extremely minor when compared to what Comey schemed up with Hillary. The former FBI director could also be tried for many additional felonies, as this statute is used to prove perjury, false declarations, and obstruction of justice, which are all crimes that Comey committed in the case of Hillary Clinton. It's time for these swamp rats to be held accountable for their crimes. The FBI continues to prove just how out of control they are at this point. Rather than upholding their oath to pursue impartial justice, they were essentially operating as Obama and Hillary's secret police, continuing to serve as the foot soldiers for these crooked politicians.